Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, I've never been one to say categorically that I think Lucy Letby is innocent. I've never been one to say categorically that I think she's guilty. I've always maintained that the evidence against her is certainly questionable. Whether she's innocent or not is another matter. I'm not going to make the decision. But I do think that there were a lot of very strange goings on through her trial. She was, I think, set up. Now, I can't, like I say, categorically say it was true or not. It just has the appearances, it has all the appearances of her being a patsy. There was evidence that was hidden from the defence. There was evidence that was not presented in court. There was questionable evidence that wasn't followed up. There was direction from the judge that seemed to be very implicit as to her guilt and so forth. There's lots of things gone on. And then subsequent to her conviction, other people have said things. One of the babies, it's now proved she didn't kill, for example. Well, on top of all this strange doings with regards to her particular case, there is something else that's been revealed. And it's only been revealed today. And you probably won't see a lot of it in a lot of papers, but staff at the hospital, the Countess of Chester, wasn't it? The staff at her hospital are now possibly facing prosecution for investigate after being, well, there's negligence and manslaughter are on the cards, put it that way. The police are actually in there, back in the hospital, and investigating, but they're investigating other members of staff as well. Several individuals apparently are being individually assessed and investigated. They've upgraded the criminal investigation now from corporate manslaughter to actual manslaughter, and they're doing a full revisit of everything, of all records and so forth. Now, the police are not saying exactly which staff members that they're treating as, I suppose the term people of interest. Suspects, perhaps, is too strong, but, they've not formalised anything, put it that way. So it's just people of interest at the moment that's being investigated. They're not saying how many there are that they're investigating. They're not saying what their roles are and so forth. They just confirmed that they are investigating certain individuals because of evidence that came to light through the trial. Now, the maximum sentence that these people could face is life in prison. Negligent manslaughter is still the taking of a life. Now, she was given 15 whole life sentences, and then one of the babies was found not to have been killed by her. So that's been now reduced to 14 whole life sentences. She's one of the very few people who will never, ever come out of jail. Now, the senior investigating officer, I've got it here for this, Paul Hughes. He said, in October 2023, following the lengthy trial and subsequent conviction of Lucy Letby, Cheshire Constabulary launched an investigation into corporate manslaughter at the Countess of Chester Hospital. This focuses on senior leadership and their decision making to determine whether any criminality has taken place concerning the response to the increased level of fatalities. And so it could even be that there is other reasons why these babies died. It could have been negligence, not murder. That's what they're saying. It could have been there, and it's another example of evidence that should have been at the trial, but wasn't. Everyone was too eager to get Letby into prison because they didn't want the failings of the NHS to be highlighted. Now, gross negligence costs lives. We all know this. Other action or inaction of others costs lives. Now, it's important, I think, that we say that this may or may not have an impact on the guilt or innocence of Lucy Letby per se. But if the inquiry finds that other people were negligent, it does mean that there's a question hanging over the safety of the conviction. If the deaths were not her action, but were because of procedural or managerial interference or some such, or things that were just standard practice at the hospital that shouldn't have been, and things like that, then it does absolutely call into question whether Lucy Letby actually killed anyone. It's a stunning revelation that the police are investigating this. I mean, where we are, 18 months later, and still nobody is talking about the evidence that was suppressed and hidden. And it seems very odd. Now, she may well have killed them. I'm not advocating that she's innocent. I'm advocating that the law and the trial were flawed. I think there should be a retrial. I think the whole evidence should come out. I think things they've learned subsequently should be allowed and admitted. And if she's found guilty again, then so be it. She's guilty again, and that's fine. I'm accepting of that. But I don't like the idea of a woman being in prison who shouldn't be in prison. If she should be there, fine, rot. Don't care. But if she is innocent, doesn't she deserve at least the retrial with all the subsequent evidence admitted? As well as, of course, this. Because if people are going to be prosecuted over this, then that too has to be taken into consideration. It's a very, very difficult position, because I still think she might be guilty. I'm not saying she isn't. But what I'm saying is, of course, that there's so much doubt and uncertainty over I suppose you could say, the honesty of the trial, or the procedure of the trial, that I do think it is a time. I do believe that there should be a retrial with all evidence. But you may disagree with me, and that's fine. If you disagree with me, let me know. You may agree with me, again, that's fine. It's very difficult, isn't it? It's a very difficult one. But either way, what do you think? Should there be a retrial now, given the revelation that the police are now investigating others in the hospital for gross negligence and potential manslaughter? Hey-ho, I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button, especially you regulars who aren't subscribed. It really makes a difference. We're trying to get up. I would like to get to 70,000 by the end of the month. That'd be a nice little target. I'm not far off, and it'd be just nice to click that before the end of the month. So do that, please. Till next time, though, stay safe, stay well, hit the like button, and I will speak to you later. Bye.